Everybody deserves a second chance, even video games. Welcome to the Second Opinion Podcast, where the reviews aren't always right, but we are. We're here to give you the gaming takes you didn't know you needed. We've been deep in the gaming world for 17 plus years, covering all the news, releases, and drama in the gaming world, and having a damn good time while doing it. Just because some website gave a game a low score doesn't mean it's a fail in our book. We're all about giving games that second chance, diving back in where others quit. And we should probably tell you that we're real and we're very loud and opinionated, and 90% of the time we're completely off topic. But that's why you'll love us. This is your Second Opinion. Now, here are your hosts, Toaster, Celeb, and Bolts.
Incorrect. Bolts is not on the show anymore because he's moving to Hawaii.
One of these days.
Fucking Hawaii. What's up, guys?
It's all Hawaii's fault, you know.
Most things are.
It's all I swear it's all Hawaii's fault and fake birds. Birds aren't real, everybody.
Say fake birds.
Great start today.
They are. I actually saw like a clip from an actual gathering of people that believe birds are fake. And it was the wildest thing I think I'd ever seen before in my life. So this guy walked through and he's like, birds are real. And they were like, ah, birds are fake.
So completely just right off topic, since, you know, it's us. Yeah. But there was a football player, I think, for Texas A&M a couple of years ago that said he didn't believe in space.
You know,
so like part of me wanted to be in that room and be the reporter and be like, hey, dude, just take your hands for a second and touch all your fingertips together. Now spread them apart. That area between your non-touching fingertips, what do you call that?
It's called space.
Called space. And the other one is, if I was a young collegiate athlete who's good in my role and was constantly having to deal with the press, and I'm surprised that more like famous people don't do this, because I would totally do it. If I had somebody shoving a microphone in my face all the fucking time, asking me stupid questions, I would intentionally try to come up with the dumbest answers possible. Yes,
the most batshit crazy answer.
And I would literally try to be like, what did I say to this last week? Oh, the Keebler elves actually are the ones to blame for climate change. And they also are the ones that convinced that dude at Shoney's that kale was edible. I have no further
fucking Shoney's.
So we're asking you about the tornadoes in New Orleans. Yeah, the Keebler elves started them.
I'm still partial to the Marshawn Lynch. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Just here's someone get fined. Thank you for asking.
All right, so we got a show today. We do have a show. We promise. As you can tell, we are back. It's been a little bit since all three of us have all been here. Not really a crazy amount of time, but things have been crazy. We've all been busy. Then we've had all of us almost just said fuck it before the show started because we couldn't get our audio working, but we got it working. I am Celeb, your host today, a former PlayStation fanboy. Then we have Toaster McGee, former Xbox fanboy. And then we also have Mr. Janky, CEO of Corporate What is this?
Corporate Xbox obnoxiousness. I'm the CEO
I can't read.
So in a surprise move, Asha Sharma has stepped down.
I'm like, wow.
Mr. Janky is now the corporate. We can now direct all of our ire to Mr. Janky.
He's like, we're doing the exact opposite.
I came up with a cool other way for CEO to mean for something, and now I'm in charge.
There you go.
That's how corporations work, ladies and gentlemen.
We like your drive, buddy. So we've got somewhat of a hateful episode today, and I know it seems from the header image and the beginning of the title show from hope to sadness. We hate Xbox restructuring, or it's not just about Xbox. It's also
the gaming like what the gaming industry has become.
It has to do with the entirety of the gaming industry, but Xbox was just the last one in the line of fire. So they, but before we get started on that, we're going to go to Mr. Janky. We're going to talk about what he's been gaming. So what you been playing recently, bro?
What have I been playing? I just finished Sekiro. Finally got through that. That was fun. That was pretty hard. And speaking of things that are difficult, I've been just recently back on Hollow Knight. I was like, I beat the game, but I didn't get the true ending and all the super hard optional bosses. So maybe I'm just feeling myself a little after Sekiro. I'm like, I think I can take those Hollow Knight bosses now too. I'm pretty sure I can do it. So that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to do the Path of Pain, and I don't know if you Hollow Knight fans are out there. I got to the very end of it and then died and had to start the whole thing over. So I lost my entire motivation for right now. But we're getting there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm sorry. I know that pain.
What about you, Toaster? What have you been gaming?
So the Games Fest kind of re-inspired me with the release of the Final Fantasy VII, what they call it, Revelations, the last one.
Yeah. Remake saga.
Yeah, I played through the remake, and now I am cheesing my way through Rebirth because I didn't realize that they had implemented. So, the first one, I thought the head start was New Game Plus. Turns out it's not. Head start, you start off level 45 and you're just maxed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just pretty much just slaughtered my way through Final Fantasy VII Remake. I beat it the first time. I did legitimately beat it. But then I was and the whole thing that started this is I started to play the sequel, but I had no idea what the hell I had done up to that point because I was in that Gandalf scene. I was I have no recollection of this place. Yeah. So I was I'll just play through them again. And I guess a recent patch introduced streamlined progression into Rebirth. So I'm just playing on God mode, pretty much. The only thing I haven't enabled is max damage on my weapons because that just got yeah.
Got at least try
one shot. But totally doing the Chadley stuff, I'm totally cheesing that and Titan in one shot. Just and it adds a whole new level of ridiculousness to the game that I am very much enjoying. But I haven't adjusted the enemy health. I just, I still have to fight, but at least I don't have to wait for my ATB gauge to fill up. I just fire spells when I want to. Kind of makes it a bit Devil May Cry-ish. I'll say.
I might need to check that out. I actually had been put down Rebirth probably a few months ago now, just because kind of the sheer amount of game there is in that game just started to really weigh on me. I guess I was I gotta just do something else for a little. I feel like I've just been absorbed in this for weeks. I need to just step away.
Oh, there's definitely a lot to explore, but cheesing it makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah,
the fights go faster because you're like you said, you don't have to wait for the ATB gauge. So it's I start off, I assess immediately with Cloud. I'm all right, you're weak to Blizzard, and then Aerith just nukes things with Blizzards. So.
The way you were just talking about that was...
I started playing back again through Spider-Man 2. But yeah, I think we talked about this. I just can't shake the feeling that something shitty is something really shitty is going to happen, and that game is not going to end on a good note. Peter's probably going to succumb to the suit. Miles is going to be heartbroken.
Oh my God! Wait a second. You haven't played through Spider-Man 2 all the way?
I haven't finished it yet.
No. I haven't either.
God!
What? Yeah, I know. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Love him. Just haven't gotten around to finishing that or even starting that game. I wanted to play Miles first. I never had it. I just finished Miles Morales not that long ago, so it's on the list.
And seriously, it's those games are an emotional fucking roller coaster.
Oh, just wait.
They're tough.
They're
tough.
Sorry, but dude, you have not. I mean, bro, fucking shit. That's crazy, dude. I'm like,
no, like there's a whole bunch of games where I've like played and then stopped at a point because I'm like, man, something shitty is really about to happen. Like
that's
I'm
why
playing,
you stopped.
like dude, I can't take the emotional roller coaster.
You
anymore.
have to. You push through it.
God,
It's part of the experience,
and
man.
the worst part about it too is like Ghost of Yotai. I love that fucking game. I love Ghost of Tsushima. Probably pronounced that wrong. Yeah, I did. But anyway, Ghost of Yotai. So I mean, a certain character shows up at some point in the game, and unfortunately, the person that voice acts this character, whenever I've played a game where his character or his likeness or his voice is in the game, something always awful happens to his character.
It's a Sean
And
Bean
something
situation.
bad. What?
Sean Bean situation. Like you see Sean Bean in a movie, you're like, oh, he's dead.
Oh yeah,
He's gonna die.
exactly. Like the minute
Yeah.
I hear Noshir's voice, I'm like, all right, what's gonna happen to your character, or what's gonna happen to my character? Like, like, yeah.
Anything else?
Like I give you the second Star Wars game.
Have you-
Was that
freaking the guy Katalo in
The
freaking
Fallen
Horizon
Kingdom?
Zero Dawn?
what is it
Night
called?
Reese,
Jedi Kingdom or whatever it was?
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, that's right.
Yeah, Night Reese.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Fallout
Yeah, say
4.
no more.
Like every time. So like, of course, when he showed up in Yotai, I'm like,
Sometimes you just got one of those voices meant for trouble.
Well,
Speaking of
no,
trouble,
not trouble, tragedy, for Christ's sakes.
I've been playing a lot
tragedy
of games. I've been playing a lot. As at least these two guys know, because I've been posting shit like constantly. I have been engrossed in video games for a couple of weeks.
What sucks is one of the games that you played. I went to my wife's parents for a cookout, and her brother was there, and he was like, "So, I guess I'm going to be getting a Switch 2 for Ocarina of Time." And I just kind of looked at him and gave him the look, and I was like, "And Star Fox." He's like, "Damn it!" The only reason I ended up with a Switch is because of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah, Star Fox is. I'll say this: Star Fox is really good, and it's a really fun game. But if you're expecting something different from the original, you're not going to get it.
Why mess with what works?
I just didn't want to play Star Fox 64 again. Like,
my thing is
game.
this. Listen, I'll say this. So fuck it. I'll show the gameplay on here real quick. So the game is good. It's not that it's bad. Okay, it is a really good game. Hold up. King cling. There we go. I like that one better. The game is good. But the issue is that it's like it's identical in the sense of the actual level design. Like it is a carbon copy of Star Fox 64. The only big addition that you see, of course, is like the visual fidelity is like stupendous. I mean, it is really like, it was almost weird going back through and like playing the game and being like, holy shit, like this. Like I remember every aspect of this game. Like it was like muscle memory straight out the bat because it's so much like the original game. And they have like new additions now in here to where like in between the levels, you have these like cutscenes to where they're sitting there talking to General Pepper and all this other stuff. I mean, you can't not say that the game doesn't look, fucking amazing. It looks how we have always wanted it to be, instead of it like when you pull into Corneria, you have this like giant fog, and like the city looks like it's roughed up, but at the same time, you don't really tell the damage of Corneria outside of some robots that are kind of like pushing some buildings over.
Yeah.
Like
buildings that are just kind of like out in the middle of nowhere that just kind of look like skyscrapers devoid of any context whatsoever.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. But like here,
it was awesome.
you could tell as you're flying into Corneria, like it actually gets darker. You can see smoke and fire, and I mean, you see like a good visual representation of what Andros has done to Corneria. So it's like, okay, I get what they're doing with this, you know. And then I'll say this: I played the original, of course. You know, I was 10 years old whenever I played it, and I played through the game, and it took me forever to beat it because it was so hard with that fucking dongle that you were using on the N64. But I never went back through and played the additional, like, you know, track. So I did have somewhat of a new experience because I didn't go back through that other way. And that was kind of cool. But one thing that I felt like I really missed in this is like new levels. I mean, you know, it could have been, maybe it was because they were in crunch time and they were trying to get out what they've had, or maybe they just were like, we're just going to release the original as a remake and not really going to add a ton of extra outside of like, you know, the few things here and there, like new visuals, new cutscenes, and the fact that you can play the game on an easy mode now. Also, you know, the co-op is better. The multiplayer battle system that you can play online.
The other thing too is this is a safe bet.
It's safe because it's for real.
You
like
know,
it's
like you know it's going to be a hit, and now that they know that there's still the interest in it enough to drive it to some profitability,
exactly.
You know, now you take a chance with the new.
That's exactly
what
that's exactly what I said in my review. I had said I gave it a 4 out of 5, which I think is a good score, and I stated that, you know, I think that hopefully this is the beginning of something anew for Nintendo. I would love to see them kind of stretch this out over the next, like, you know, maybe in the next 3 years, we hear that they're coming out with Star Fox 2 or a new Star Fox game that is kind of based around this, that's more expansive and more in depth. You know, I would love to see the ability of like having this style of gameplay, but then also like you could land your starfighter and then like get out and have like a third person style kind of experience like you did in.
Let's not get too hasty.
No.
They tried that once and no one liked it at all.
It wasn't the best, but we're talking about a GameCube game, okay? You know,
I'm just saying, StarCraft or Star Fox Adventures was.
Don't you miss Crystal? I mean, Crystal was like
Crystal can come back. You're right.
Yeah.
I do think though, with like the modern like technology and modern like design sensibilities, there could be something really cool there.
I think they could do something really special with the Star Fox series, 100%. But I did enjoy my time, like I said, but it's, you know, it's not that it was a perfect experience. Now, I will tell you, I can't talk about it 100%. I mean, I could talk about this one 100%, which I know you guys, you know, Toaster for sure doesn't really care about this in that sense, but I reviewed and played college football. A lot of people did agree with my review, and I had some people comment some kind of hateful shit, as per usual whenever I post Madden or college football games,
or when I just post anything at all.
I just, you know, I was like, fuck it, I'm not even going to respond. I'm just going to delete the comment. But college football 27, I've been playing that a lot. I was going to do a updated review today of the Dynasty mode and Ultimate Team, as well as college football playoffs, but my time is kind of run short today. I've had a lot going on. Hopefully I'll have that up either tomorrow or Thursday. And the reason I say possibly Thursday is because I have to get another game up tomorrow that I have been playing. And man, let me tell you something, boys. Let me tell you something. Oh my God, bro. Like, I am so obsessed.
Yeah.
I can't really say any more outside of that, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced launches on the 9th, and my review does go live tomorrow. So I have been playing this game for roughly about 2 weeks, and I was able to share some gameplay. I was going to do like a full live stream and live stream like 10 hours of the game, and I was like, I ain't got the time, bro. Yeah. There's no way. But if you liked the original game, I can say you need to play the other game to get a sensibility of. I mean, you could see how spectacular the game looks compared to what it did in 2013, which is weird to think. We almost kind of had a GTA with this game because I played it on PS3, on PS4, and now I'm playing it on PS5.
Yeah.
So, but Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I've been very, very impressed, and I'll share my thoughts and full review tomorrow on that.
My only beef with this game is how he becomes an assassin. That's my only.
That's why I love it.
I just. Oh look! There's a dead guy on the beach.
That's right. No. Hit the e-brake. He kills that guy. Okay, get it right.
There's the dead guy I killed on the beach. Let me take his clothes.
Now, one thing I did get to share finally today that I did play at Summer Games Fest was a wild experience with Orbitals, which is being published by Kepler, and also it is being developed by Shape Farm. Dude, I'm not kidding you when I say this. Like, this is going to be a special game, and I really, really mean it. Like, I can say it now that whenever we sat down and we talked with the some of the representatives that were at the event, the reason, like, I was actually kind of shocked, like, seeing it. I was like, I kind of, when I saw it originally, I was thinking that maybe just the cutscenes were going to look like this and everything else was going to be cel shaded. But they actually went to other art studios and, like, former artists and all these different studios that have done this type of.
Here, there's Akira's animation style influence.
It's like the oil, I guess what, oil-based, like, old school retro animation style. They actually went to the people that did some of these original animations, like, Gundam and stuff like that, to find out how they did it. Those artists taught them how to do that method, and then they merged that method into their development style. And it's really crazy. It's something special. I mean, like, every aspect of the game looks like it's actually a full-on handcrafted experience. Like, every aspect of the game is fully handcrafted and then merged into their engine it's shocking. It's really, really shocking. And I know that there is some really good comedy in the game. There's some really good gameplay elements in the game. And the fact that the game runs so well on Nintendo Switch 2, that was one of my biggest, like, things. I was like, holy crap. Like, I actually walked over before I sat down to do, like, a very brief hands-on, because I kind of, like, I don't know. It was the setup that they had. They had the area that the game was set up in looked like an old 1980s kid's bedroom. So, like, the seating was, like, super uncomfortable. I was way more comfortable standing up. So, like, I was playing for a minute, and then there were so many people at the booth. I was like, okay, somebody play for me, and then I'm going to stand right next to you and watch every aspect of this, because I'm a very big visual learner, and whenever it comes down to this. So, but the game it's a stellar experience, honestly. Like,
it looks like anime Split Fiction.
Yes, exactly. And
I love Split Fiction. That was one of my
it was like such a good game, dude. Oh my god. But they've also what was the other game they did before Split Fiction? What's wrong with me?
Was It Takes Two, I think.
It Takes Two.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you, bro. That, like, helped my marriage. And it's about a mother and a father who are having a falling out, and, like, their kid is constantly sitting there thinking, are my parents about to get a divorce? Like, what is happening? But it was actually a really good building game. That is kind of like, in this sense, like, these two characters are, like, inseparable characters that they want to discover and do all this other stuff, but like you can actually go out into space and discover these different ships that are out there. And there's like different puzzle platforms that you can like take on as a group. And it's a really, really cool experience. So I would definitely make sure to keep that at the top of your list for something to watch out for. It is going to be something really special. But today, to get down to the brass knuckles of this fight that we're about to have. First off, I know that I said that we're here to talk about Xbox, but we're going to talk about the PlayStation news first, and then we're going to move to Xbox. And
everybody's a target today.
Boy, they are.
These words are rated E. Boy, everybody.
So the backlash for Sony is getting larger and larger by the day. Recently, Sony announced that by the year 2028, PlayStation will be a full-on digital game system. There will
and then
no longer
down
be
on that by limiting sales of the existing PlayStation console with the disc drive.
Yes. Also, not just that. It has also been recently announced a couple of days ago by The Verge that Sony PlayStation's disc factory is already being repurposed. So this is something that they're just like, we're doing it. And if you don't like it, tough. Which is crazy. I mean, it's honestly, it's bonkers to me, dude. Why do I not have my glasses on? I can't see shit. It's bonkers.
We're raging on pure vibes right now. Who needs sight?
Well, no, I mean, what makes it even worse is this is coming on the heels of the news that they went into people's libraries of purchased content.
The movies?
And deleted movies.
Yeah.
That they lost the licensing to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, what the fuck? Like,
so
you
wait,
lost
did they
the
actually like
licensing.
take it off of people's hard drives?
Yes. Like they took it out of
man.
their digital library
I did not
to
read
where
that
they
far
could
into
not
it.
access it anymore.
That's
That's crazy.
I believe
bro.
it.
Like,
That's
that's
like-
some wild shit.
I get it. You lost the license, so you are not licensed to distribute that movie anymore.
Can't
But you
tell.
can't. How can you
We
tell?
get it.
That's not a me problem. I
Exactly.
bought the movie when you were an authorized licensee or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and that movie became mine because you took my money.
Yeah,
But
bro.
that's not the case. And that is the biggest thing that everybody's freaking out about. Like, I'll admit it, I haven't bought a physical disc
Ugh,
in years.
I haven't
Like,
either.
you know, I mean, it's the convenience of when I download the game and it's done downloading, I can fucking play it instead of going to get a disc, coming home, finding out there's a 50 gig day one patch, you know, or something like that. Like, you know, all pretty much. I mean, at this point, it's quicker for me to download a game than it is for me to drive to a GameStop.
It is.
You know,
and
like-
you know, like for instance, like for me, GameStop has been shuttered over the last few years, and the only local GameStop that we had in like the surrounding 1 hour area was here in Palestine, the one that I used to work at, and they shut that store down. So the only other store that we have here is a Game Exchange, which is definitely going to start being something that I'm going to start supporting more.
Well, I mean, that was.
They
But
don't really
it-
have modern games usually, though. Very rarely.
No, they have this one. Game Exchange
Okay.
does. Game Exchange has PS5, Xbox.
guess,
They have
yeah.
Super Nintendo. They've got all that. Now, I will say the thing that
Everybody-
sucks about it. I'm
right.
sorry, Toaster.
The
The one thing.
one image
Yeah.
when you bringing up Game Exchange. I'm sorry, I'm really heated about this. The more I thought, like I said, digital consumer, I'm like, cool, but like the fact that you can take away shit that I bought,
Yeah.
you know, and somebody posted a picture. You could go get God of War Ragnarok at GameStop right now for $30.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it. It's worth the $30.
Yeah, good game.
They're still selling it on the PlayStation Marketplace for $70.
Yeah.
You know, like
I got Elden Ring at Walmart and it was just, I don't remember why. I think they just priced it wrong or something, and it was like priced as just a generic PlayStation game, and it was $50. And like that might not be like the way that it works or whatever, but like you're never gonna get a deal like that on like a digital, No. Like, but that was the day it came out. Like, just got it for basically $20 off the normal price.
Every once in a while, you'll see some of these digital sales that they'll have, and it'll be really good sales. Like you'll see like a Capcom sale or like a Summer Games Fest sale that they had. They had like a Capcom special to where you could get like Resident Evil 4 Remake and, Resident Evil 5 and all this other stuff added together for like $70, But at the same time, I will state this. Whenever this news first broke, I stated something that I do regret, but at the same time, after looking into the numbers and looking into the justification of it, have changed my opinion on. Originally, there was this big push of whenever it was first announced that everybody was sharing these numbers that PlayStation had shared a couple of years ago, that they had stated that 85% of their market was all digital based purchases. 85% of their player base was across the board nothing but digital. So at the time, I was irritated because, coming from somebody that's kind of half and half, I have a plethora of Blu-rays. I have a plethora of PlayStation games that I just have locked up, but I don't have the collection that I used to. And technically, I have a total of almost 1,000 digital games. Now, mind you, it's different for me because I don't have that same connection to a lot of those digital games because 500 of those games have all been review copies that I've gotten over the years of reviewing games. And especially in the last few years, I've been given the amazing opportunity of reviewing a lot of these games and getting a copy for free. So I can't really say that I connect in the same exact way that I used to connect. You know what I'm saying? What?
Yeah.
Say it. What?
No, check the Discord chat.
Yeah, can you put this on screen?
I can. It is true.
You're I mean, to your point, you're right though. It's like I have just a huge Steam library between just like deep discounts of just some indie game that I thought was cool and was like, $2, and I got in the Steam family, so I got a bunch of other like friends that are, my family member, my close family members, my close legal family members that we're all live together in the same house, and we all have big game libraries. So I got a lot of games to play, and it's like, but that doesn't mean that.
It's true. This man has no disc.
Thank you, Bankman. Thank you.
Thank you. But yeah, it is something.
What was he doing with that syringe full of horse tranquilizer when he went to Dana's apartment?
Very true. It is something different, though. I feel different about it because, I do think it's wrong. I think it is very wrong to get to the point where you're saying, like, what was the fucking point? What was the point of pushing out the original console in the first place? I mean, the fucking PS5 just came out, 6 years ago? Mm-hmm. 6 years ago or so? So what was the point of pushing a disc drive? Why are we continuously pushing out the market of Blu-ray that has grown to like one of the biggest digital or one of the biggest physical markets that I've seen? I feel like it's much larger than DVD ever was, bro, because you get so much more with it. But at the same time, it is an irritation because it's like, as I've gotten older, I used to have so many physical copies of video games that it was almost too much to handle. And it was like, I didn't know where to put them or whatever. And then I had kids. And whenever I had kids, they would just go over and like open discs up and, put discs down here or there or whatever. So I saw the trends and I started kind of merging into, okay, if I'm going to get a game, I'm going to get it digitally. If I get it digitally, then I don't have to worry about looking for the disc or looking for this or looking for that or it getting scratched up and not working, blah, 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 blah. But to say that somebody doesn't own something that they paid $70 for, that is the issue. Now, what I will say is, if Sony and all these other companies wanted to come out and say straight out of the bat, like when you buy the game, if you buy it digitally, there is a possibility in the next 5 years to 10 years that we will lose the license of that digital product. And if we lose the license, there's a possibility it won't be playable anymore. Then drop the fucking price.
Yeah.
Drop the fucking price.
That's a fucking cop out.
Yeah.
I'm just
all you need to do is come out and say, when you buy a product that you paid money for a license key for, it is yours.
That's very true.
And
that's very true.
It's like GOG does.
What's that?
Like GOG does. Good old games.
Yeah.
Like you buy a game. Yeah. You buy a game on GOG, you own it. There's no DRM. Right. There's no anything. You can just play it.
Or if it's a live service game like Destiny, or something like that, it's a simple line of code. Stop checking in with a server.
Yeah.
Now last gasp of the live service, all of a sudden now you need to have the space to run all of those assets. Like you better have 200 gigs worth of space on your hard drive or something.
See, that's
I would say it's really
to put a way for you to continue playing a game after support for it is stopped.
I think for me with live service games, I'm kind of just like, you get what you get and you understand what you're doing when you
honestly,
into it. Like this is what this is. It will end.
With the exception of the stuff I've recently downloaded digitally, like prior to my Xbox 360 days, there were physical copies of games that I purchased, and there were other copies of games that meh. But if you look at my collection, it's games that I truly love. Knights of the Old Republic, Skyrim, Mass Effect, the Fallout games. Stuff that I spent money on the collector's edition for, because there was I fell in love with Mass Effect within the first 30 minutes of playing it. And Jesus Christ, that scene where they make you a Spectre and the music that's playing in the background, man, that is going to get solidified in my brain forever. Just like when you find out you were Revan, or just like the first time you hear... Dude, shut up with you. You can live it under.
What do you mean?
Or the first time you hear Liam Neeson's voice as your dad in fucking Fallout 3.
Bro.
All of the games that I have physical discs for are games that hold a special place for me. Those to me truly are my collector's edition stuff. But it comes back down to the fact that Sony has made it quite clear you don't own what you pay for. And on top of that, they're just tripling down on, let's see who can get the shittiest turd award the quickest. Because then they drop if you don't use your PlayStation account in 3 years, we have the ability to close it and delete your library.
I will be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Y'all keep talking.
Good luck. I was going to add on to that too, the Marvel Tokon situation for all my fighting game heads out there. They basically just did a repeat of what happened with Helldivers 2, where a lot of the Steam accounts that were in countries that don't have access to PlayStation Network just can't play Marvel Tokon, just because it's being I think it was published through PlayStation Network or something like that. But so that's just another thing. It's just they just keep finding new ways to go, well, how can we just make gaming as hostile to our customer base as possible?
Yeah, no, and it's and Sony's just turning a blind eye. They were radio silent for 7 days after making this announcement. And then they come back with hey, check out our new fight stick. And you can imagine the response on Twitter to that. I think the first one was a picture of an elephant in a classroom and the guy going, hey, Sony, isn't there something else you want to talk about?
Acknowledge me.
Right. Dude, you just literally first of all, you totally took I'm going to take my ball and go home when it came to putting PlayStation games on PC. You know, and let me tell you, man, Ghost of Tsushima on PC looks absolutely fucking gorgeous.
I can imagine.
Like, I mean,
I thought it
great.
looked good on my PS4.
Right. I just thought my PlayStation 4 was going to start flying every time I fired that game up. Like,
I had mine very out in the open, and it was a good space for it.
I'm back.
No, like, it was funny because Ghost of Tsushima was pretty much the game that I was like, no, I need a PS5.
It's Ghost of Toshima, by the way.
Toshima, all right.
No.
Like, you know, I was the asshole when everybody started getting mad about Cyberpunk, going, wait, you watched that trailer and seriously thought it was going to run on a PlayStation 4?
No fucking way.
Like,
no way.
Well, you know, like, I mean, and there's now a petition that's surpassed 200,000 signatures telling Sony to, hey, knock it off. You know, but it's like all of a sudden, you know, like I had no illusions. Sony is a business.
Yeah, they're companies. They're not our friends.
But I just kind of felt like, you know, that the gaming side of these companies was kind of given, like, at least it felt like it back in the day. Well, at least until the PlayStation 3 announcement, trying to get $600 for that thing. But it kind of felt like with the 360 and the PlayStation 3, you know, even though there was the whole like elitist versus like the blue collar Xbox, you know, type thing, because that's kind of what the PlayStation made it feel like. But they still like operated kind of in their own little economic microcosm separate from the larger business entity. You know, like there was always the articles coming out, oh, they're selling the consoles at a loss, you know, but then they're making all this money off of all these games. And now it's like you were suddenly just the band is getting rudely ripped away. It's like all of a sudden it's like, you know, they're not in it for the fans. They're in it to make money.
And not only that, it makes for just a horrible like workplace situation where you have people that work on games and make hit games that are loved by everyone, and their reward for doing so is losing their damn job. And then they're just, you know, and now like the industry's in like major churn, and you know, I follow a lot of game devs on Twitter, and I just see constantly people like, hey, I'm looking for work again, and it's like it's not sustainable either, right? Because like they make it impossible for us to want to buy the games. They make it so difficult to even like feel like it's like a good idea to even pay for them in the first place, and then they will say, oh, we'll take them away too.
There's
and then we'll fire
out there though that have somehow found the magic formula. Larian, you know, CD Projekt Red, you know, and Larian, I mean, Sven has been telling studios how to fix it. If you've listened to any of his fucking speeches, he's literally giving you the floor work on how to fix things. But
he did that at Summer Games Fest just 2 years ago. And it's like they're not fucking listening. You know, they're more focused in on profit margins and, you know, the bottom line dollar. Now, mind you, we don't know every aspect of things, and we understand. I think we all understand that sometimes in business you do have to make bad decisions, and because you have a bad decision that you have to make, because if you don't make that bad decision, there's always a possibility that it could be this world-ending thing. But at the same time, whenever you see some of these studios out there, or you see some of these publishing houses out there like PlayStation that have continuously folded profit margin after profit margin after profit margin, like, and it's just going up and up and up. PlayStation 5 is like, last year they had announced that it was like still one of the most highly sought after consoles on the market.
I mean, the PlayStation Pro is going for almost $1,000.
Well, yes. I mean, what is the option, right? Like, of course it is. It's kind of just by virtue of either no one knows what to do with the like take John Q, whoever who wants to get into video gaming, right? Like they look at it and go, okay, well, I used to like, you know, I heard Xboxes are good. I'll go with the X, Series S, Series X. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Or, I mean, you know, they're not going to sit down and try to like figure out how to put the specs together for a gaming PC, and then they're going to look at the prices for like a pre-built one and go, you know what, I'll just get a PlayStation. So yeah, like it's like that, and they're not, and like, you know, it's basically they're like PlayStation and Nintendo, and then it's, are you like a kid gamer or are you like, you know, an adult gamer? Not like that's actually true, but like perceptions and shit like that. And so I mean, of course, it's like it's the most sought after console because it kind of just stands out.
Look, we had the excitement of Valve announcing the Steam box. And everybody was like, yeah, it's going to be like a console or whatever. And a lot of people, I'm actually shocked that a lot of people were shocked that it was like above $1,000. I'm literally shocked. Like some of these people that are big name people in gaming journalism, they're like, so wait. So it actually is going to be $1,000. Yes.
Yeah.
Why did you think anything different? Why did you think that with hardware being as lined out as it is right now, with the world economy in the point that it is now, why would you think anything different? When you see Xbox and PlayStation raising the price of their consoles, when you see the market across the board, I mean, fuck, you got, like Toaster said it perfectly. You got fucking games that came out almost 2 to 3 years ago. They're still $70 on the PlayStation market. What the
Civilization 7.
Yeah, I mean, for real. It's wild.
Like my wife has not picked it up yet because the price has not dropped.
I'm going to tell you this.
Man, I get it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Silla.
I was just going to say, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people are not going to like what I have to say in this sense, but Xbox Game Pass fucked a lot of this shit up. Really think about it in the sense that, yes, it's fucking awesome. Of course it is. As a consumer,
it's the devil's bargain, though.
It is. As a consumer, of course I want to play. Of course I want to play fucking games and only have to pay fucking $40 or $30 a month or whatever the fuck.
That's when this can just tie right into the Xbox situation because of that was the most layoffs in gaming industry. In quite some time. And Asha Sharma is, I mean, like we all had hopes, man. She came out of the gate going, Games Pass is too expensive, and we're like, hey, and now it's like she's pointing the finger at Phil Spencer. She's blaming a lot of Microsoft's Xbox woes on his regime. But the other thing is too is like you have to fucking temper your expectations of profitability of a video game. Yeah, this is something you and I talked about, Caleb, a lot. My perfect example of this, Dead Space. And I will constantly go back to that because I love that fucking game and the remake was amazing. All right. Did it make you more money than you spent creating the game?
Exactly.
Yes.
Then
it was profitable. Like,
why didn't you continue it? It could have made you more money.
It's got to make more money every single time, though. That's the philosophy that makes
this expectation of like Grand Theft Auto levels of profitability. Grand Theft Auto crosses fucking genres, and they have turned it into a world just like they did with Fortnite.
Yeah, bro.
Dead Space wasn't for everybody, but the game still racked in. What would we figure, like 120 million sales or something like that?
Yeah, about, yeah.
And it was like 50 mil to make?
Yeah.
So you made your money back and then some? Was it a platinum diamond selling $1 billion? No, it wasn't,
But you made your money back and then
made your money back. It has a fan base, you know? And that's the thing is like they're all chasing this golden ring that it's like lightning in a bottle, man, with some of these games. But the thing is you develop a devoted fan base and you just continue making the game and you roll the dice every once in a while. Part of the problem is Microsoft spent billions of dollars acquiring studios left and fucking right.
Yes.
And some of those rolled out, I mean, it sucks for the people behind State of Decay, but they had nothing to show for 8 years.
Yep.
And on that aspect, I can I can see that. Like, I can get where you're coming from with that. The fact that they were like, okay, well, here's this and seed money to finish the game, go ahead. And then like when you read the articles about like what they're with Arcane Studios, Arcane is based in France. France has really good labor protection laws, and like you read these articles and it sounds like Microsoft's complaining. It's like, no, you're about to try to shutter people X amount of people out of their jobs and livelihood. I'm glad the French government is fighting for those employees,
Exactly.
Double Fine. Luckily, they have the name recognition where they can go indie and probably find another investor willing to take them on. But
maybe,
yeah,
exactly.
Like last time, like Double Fine has like great games, but like, what have they come out with lately that's been a big hit? And that's what capitalism is always about. It's like, what have you done for me lately? Can you make it the next biggest hit of all time? And like, just the niche that they live in, I don't know. I'm not as hopeful. I am hopeful, but I'm not as optimistic.
I just think that these companies should have stayed publishing houses.
I agree 100%. And let me say this real quick. Whenever it comes down to stats, okay, so we haven't really talked about it in like the full stats of things. So Xbox did announce that the most significant restructuring in the history of the company, eliminating a total of 3,200 jobs, roughly 20% of their workforce, 4,800 jobs across the board at Microsoft. But it says here that Asha Sharma stated that the division is not healthy and has been losing 64 cents to every dollar invested. With a total of 1,600 immediate cuts that happened as of yesterday, there were 4 studios that are leaving the Xbox banner: Compulsion Games, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, and Undead Labs. And as you guys know, these companies decided to say okay to a buyout of Xbox for the safety of not having to shutter their studio. But either way, there was no game cancellations. But let's look at the overall, okay? Let's look at the overall here. There were vendor cuts, hardware and pricing challenges that have been faced to where their, Xbox console prices were increased by $100 to $150.
The only people they have to blame for that is them and the demand with AI.
Exactly. Platform and content teams had ballooned by 40% since 2020, and operations margins were running 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platforms and publishing businesses. So the way I look at it is, as we said years ago, Xbox bit off more than they can chew. Okay? And I get what they were doing. I get it. Phil was all about the games. And he was like, man, how fucking cool would it be if we got these massive studios and then over time we make it to where these games are exclusive on Xbox. Then we can actually kind of lower the strain of our our first party publishing houses to where we can make even better games at our first party publishing houses. But guess what happened? They came out with a system called Day One on Game Pass. And when these games came out Day One on Game Pass, what happened? They didn't get half of the profit that they would have got if the game was not Day One on Game Pass.
And see, but that goes back to when Game Pass was initially even a concept. Somebody in that meeting, somebody who was a numbers cruncher, should have sat down and said, hey, look, if we do this, we're going to increase our fan, love, whatever we want to call it, our good vibes with our fandom by X-fold. But we're going to take this hit to our bottom line.
Exactly.
They should have taken a game.
You don't think that happened? And
I don't feel like it did. I mean, maybe some people, maybe there was like a very small percentage of people in the Xbox powerhouse that were like, hey, bro, we're going to lose a lot of money by doing this. But I feel like Phil and maybe the team at the time thought about the overall growth of Xbox, and they were like, yeah, but if we do the subscription basis, we have run the numbers, and a subscription basis will work if we can get Xbox into every single household.
And I think that's what they were trying to do with the ending of the console wars and throwing Halo on the PlayStation. I think the eventual end game with that was trying to get Game Pass on the PlayStation.
Yeah. But they still
or at
have
least have it set up for like whatever household device you have, streaming set up phone, you can use it on your computer, you can use it on your phones or whatever. Exactly.
I mean, Summer Games Fest not this past Summer Game Fest, but the Summer Game Fest before, there was a big Samsung section with Xbox where they were talking about how you don't even need a console. You could just have Xbox Game Pass on the new Samsung televisions. And that's the reason why I sold my Xbox at the time. I had to end up going back and getting another because I had sold it at the time because I was like, bro, what's the point of having a console? If I got good enough internet, I could just download, like I could stream the game directly to my system or to my TV.
I think what changed that is the focus of moving to AI instead of actual, the data Microsoft, the data farms like Azure and stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah. But now their goal is to have a total of like 1 billion Xbox players daily.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's exactly what I was talking about. How it can't just be a reasonable number. You can't just make a profit. You have to make the biggest profit that anyone could ever make. You have to make a bigger profit than you made before. You have to continue to climb.
And
what's the problem with how all of these like companies work?
What's sad is anybody with half of a brain, when they first rolled out Game Pass and started doing that day one exclusives, because like remember when they first started and they were like Indiana Jones day one exclusive, and like we're like, okay. I was gonna buy the game, but now no. Like, and then they tried to get smart, and I'm dumb. I fucking fell for it with like if you got the ultimate version of like Starfield by paying like extra $15 for a game, like or on top of it, you don't have the base game because you're using it on Game Pass, but now you can play it 3 days earlier because you are an impatient bastard.
Yep, you got.
I got.
Well, I want to state this real quick because this is where my my anger really leads. So first off, I want to give like huge love and shout out to the id Software team. Their latest DLC, Doom: The Dark Ages Revelations, is launching today, the day after they cut half of their team. So this is what was really irritating me on social media, especially on fucking Twitter. And I'm gonna kind of get old school celeb here for a second. I know we got to kind of wrap it up, but I'm gonna get a little old school for a second.
Take us off with a rant.
When a fucking team like id Software gets 50% of their staff cut, it's not a fucking joke to get on social media and post, oh, well, you know what? They shouldn't have shoved it down our throat to make it a melee Doomslayer game. Oh, well, they shouldn't have done this or that. Shut the fuck up with your bullshit and stop saying stupid ass fucking comments like that. These people have been, I've known these, I mean, I'm not kidding you when I say this. I have known these fucking people at id Software for a long time. And I've been at QuakeCon. I've been at 10, 12 QuakeCons in recent years. And these people are some of the hardest, most passionate working people that I have ever met in gaming. People that really care about their community. I mean, people that took their time out every single year to do events like QuakeCon and volunteer their time. Volunteer. Not like, hey, I'm working QuakeCon this year and I'm getting paid the whole time. No, volunteer their fucking weekend to go and work this big ass event in Dallas and tend to their fans. And your fucking comments back to a post that I share are, well, maybe they shouldn't have done such a shitty ass Doom game. Give me a fucking break.
Dude, the game's fun as hell. Like, seriously.
Listen, it may not be your cup of tea, and it may not be lined out with Doom Eternal or Doom 2016 or Doom 3, but my God, think about what Doom is. Doom is the motherfucking God. Doom, the Doomslayer himself. If it wasn't for id Software, companies like id Software, and companies like Apogee, and companies like 3D Realms, if it wasn't for them, gaming wouldn't even be what it is today. And y'all, the people that say this shit, look into the fucking gaming history. Okay? But this is what I wanted to state. One of the senior developers at the studio had this to say. Okay? And it's very irritating. He was a senior gameplay system programmer, Michael Maynard. He stated, I was part of the team, roughly 50% of the company that was let go today. I was there for over 20 years through Rage to Doom: The Dark Ages. Sad, but I've been doing this video games for 40 years and it's not a huge surprise to me. Just really sad to see that this is how id Software, the pioneers and innovators of the first-person action game, is is regulated to just another reorganization asset. He also said, as part of the team, Microsoft decided that half of the team was deemed useless and needed to be let go, despite all of the amazing work and effort from every designer, programmer, artist, audio specialist, level designer, FX designer, tech designer, on and on. So I had also heard that it was their QA team as well. It was their coders, their programmers, a ton of their artists. I mean, so it's hard for you not to sit there and think that Microsoft is just trying to grasp onto this IP and wants to do away with the id Tech 5 engine and say, fuck it, we'll just use Unreal. We'll use Unreal and we'll make the game somewhere else. There's also rumors that they're talking about moving Halo to Activision.
I wouldn't say no to that.
I wouldn't say no to it either, but it's like, this is shit that we saw in the early 2000s. I don't know if y'all remember this, but we would see constant different publishing houses with with IPs that they would own for 5 to 10 years, and it would get rehashed and redone, and then it finally.
But that formula worked for Call of Duty between Sledgehammer and
it did. You know? I agree, but we're talking about how can you gut 50% of a team and then make a statement and say, well, we're still planning on keeping the big games, like Fallout and Doom and this and that and so on and so forth.
I mean, that's what they said. That now Bethesda's left sitting there going, okay, well, all we can make is Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and I wish Starfield was a better game. I could see where Todd wanted to go with the game. And I mean, in Caleb, I gave it the college try, man. I really tried with that game. I
should have put this on. I should have put this on while I was doing my raging. I don't have the updated one, but I'm fucking getting it now. But I just want to state this. Yes, there's machine games. Machine games can help with the development of Doom. Yes, there's all these other different assets. And I understand. My hate, as much as people think it is, my hate is not really towards Asha Sharma. Because I heard some of the stuff that she had stated while she was at Summer Games Fest. And I understand. She took over a company that was bleeding like a stuck hog. Okay? As much as everybody wants to make it light, Xbox was in a bad spot. And there had been multiple occasions that the CEO of Microsoft was coming out and being like, dude, they're not turning a profit. This is multiple years now. They're not turning a profit. We have got to do something or it's going to lose us billions. And I get that's how companies work. I do. Do it gradually. Do some type of option. Maybe they did, and hopefully they did. And I'm sure Asha Sharma and the team over at Xbox is taking the time out to try and help these people that have been affected by this, hopefully. But I will state this. To do it the day before you launch a DLC for a game that they have been working their ass off on, that from what Hugo had told us in that press event, this DLC is 30 years in the making. It has more lore in it, and it's the biggest DLC we have ever done. The entirety of id Software has worked and poured their entire lifeblood into this game. And then the day before the DLC launches, you say, sorry, guys, we got to cut your staff by 50%.
That's what they did with Ninja Theory, with Hellblade, and
Yeah.
It's
but with Ninja Theory and Hellblade and these other studios, they didn't lose any staff instantaneously.
Right.
It wasn't. They still have their staff, and hopefully, like what Toaster said, they will get bought out. I know that there are 2 studios right now that have supposedly already signed deals with other publishers.
THQ Nordic has the chance to do the most hilarious fucking thing in the world right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, bro, yeah, 100%.
Like, I mean, they rescued Vigil.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
No. Hey, can we get?
And now we're actually going to see more Darksiders. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we get another? Can we not have that pull a Knights of the Old Republic remake, please?
Yeah. But I know I stood on my soapbox, but I mean, I know these people.
Well, no, I mean, dude,
And
like,
there's
this is a
such
soapbox that you can rightfully stand on because it's.
There-
I mean, it's
You don't even have to
shitty
know
what is
them, just
happening to the
respect it.
industry. Like, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
hard
yeah,
for
yeah,
the
but-
workers.
Exactly. But I think too, like, just go back. If you've never been at a QuakeCon before, go on YouTube and search up QuakeCon and look at the love that they put into these events and how when you realize that there are, of course, volunteers there that are just normal people. But then whenever you realize there's a ton of those volunteers that are people that actually worked at id, that wanted to spend time with the fans of the game. And I mean, it is such a just knife to the heart. Now, lastly, I do want to say this: support Doom: The Dark Ages. If you haven't had a chance to play the game, or say you're playing it on Xbox Game Pass, buy the DLC. Support id Software as much as you can by checking this DLC out, or just play it for a little bit and give it a chance.
Cool game.
It is a cool game, man. And my review for the game, for the DLC, is going to be up in the next couple of days. But I did want to say I appreciate everybody. I do. I appreciate everybody watching. Big shout outs to Taco Man, Mr. Andre. Shout outs. We got to get you on the podcast sometime soon. But yeah, man, gaming is not in a good spot. PlayStation's taking away games and things that you own. Xbox is taking away jobs. But I think that hopefully in the next few years we'll see the games industry strengthen and get back.
There's always indie games. There's always so many indie games, and they are always in need of somebody to buy them. That's they love making those games, especially right now. If you're on Steam, Steam sale, they'd love you to buy the game at full price, but just as much, just a little bit less, maybe they'd love you to buy the game at all, even at a discount. So
I agree.
And there's a lot of really cool indie titles out there. Like
there are some really cool indie titles.
Like I've become just a fan of the kind of return to the 2D side scroller.
Yeah,
I'm actively looking for those on the
not
as hard as like Hollow Knight or any of that. But.
Watch out for a game called I'm going to shout them out right here. Watch out for Wired Production and the other team as well. I'll have that posted. But Mr. Records, telling you, bomb ass game, indie studio. So I love you guys so much. Big shout out to id Software, man. We're so sorry for that hit, and big shout outs to the other studios that were affected by this. As well as just the overall job cut. I mean, 4,600 jobs sucks. And PlayStation,
do better.
Do better, bro. I mean, come on, man. What the fuck are you guys doing, dude? Listen to your fans for once. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Later.
Peace.